Now we officially enter the first module, thinking tools at the level of lab strategy. Today's idea comes from a relatively new theory in computer science, discovered in the study of AI agents. It's called the power-seeking theorems. I believe this theorem applies directly to human life, and in fact, it touches one of the most fundamental and decisive principles of personal growth. Interestingly, it echoes an ancient Chinese idea: the noble person is not a tool. Let's start with an uncomfortable truth. Most people, most of the time, are being driven. Employees read their boss's mood during the day and their spouse's mood at night. Students listen to teachers at school and parents at home. You do what others tell you to do. If no one tells you what to do, you feel like you have no freedom at all. Can that really be called living? Being constantly driven leads to chronic stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, triggers inflammation, and gradually damages both your physical health and your mental state. So, what does it mean to say the noble person is not a tool? At its core, it means do not be driven. Do not become an instrument. A tool is something others can pick up and use at will. A noble person should not be like that. This idea also appears in Kant's moral philosophy, stated even more directly. A human being must always be treated as an end, never merely as a means. In plain terms, don't become a tool, not for others and not even for yourself. A human being is a human being, not an object. But here's the problem. In reality, we are constantly being driven. So what should we pursue instead? Confucius gave us a principle. Kant gave us a moral rule. But the power-seeking theorems gives us something more practical, a method. The forces that drive people are not always other people. More often, they are conditions. Take poverty, for example. Poverty is not just an economic condition. It's a cognitive one. When someone lives under long-term scarcity, every situation gets filtered through one question. How much money do I have left? When will I get the next payment? Eventually, they can't think about anything else. This is what researchers call the tunneling effect. It's like being inside a tunnel. You only see what's directly in front of you, while everything else disappears. Scarcity narrows your cognitive bandwidth. There was an experiment conducted in both the US and India. Participants were asked to imagine a financial shock, like their car suddenly breaking down and needing expensive repairs. For wealthy individuals, this was manageable, but for low-income individuals, just imagining this scenario caused their IQ test scores to drop by 13 points. Think about that. Just focusing on one urgent problem can literally reduce your intelligence in the moment. Isn't that the definition of being driven? The same pattern appears in addiction. Drug users, gamblers, alcoholics, their cognition narrows to a single object of desire. Or consider hunger. Someone who is starving sees food everywhere. These people are not evil, but they are enslaved by a single variable. In Kant's terms, they are treating themselves as a means. In Chinese terms, the petty person is enslaved by external things. And this goes beyond extreme cases. People who sacrifice their health for promotions and bonuses. Parents who give up their own lives entirely in the name of their children. Individuals obsessed with power, caring only about authority and not principles. All of them are, in essence, tools. Here is the key insight. To become a tool is to optimize for a single objective function, at the cost of all other dimensions of life. When you see only one goal, you become a slave to that goal. In truth, almost everyone has gone through this phase at some point. Because of money, love, exams, or a project, your entire world collapses into one thing. Your cognitive bandwidth shrinks. Your sensitivity declines. You lose diversity in your roles and interests. You are no longer flourishing. So, the noble person is not a tool, is not a luxury. It is the minimum requirement for a healthy personality. You might ask, okay, we shouldn't have just one goal. What if we have multiple goals? That sounds reasonable, but it doesn't work. If one goal already exalts you, multiple goals will only make it worse. The real difference between a noble person and a petty person is not the number of goals, it's this: active or passive. A noble person can focus on the goal but remains its master. A petty person becomes its servant. For example, someone enslaved by power will treat authority as absolute. You tell me what to do, and I obey. But someone who uses power thinks differently. If it aligns with my values, I'll do it. If not, I'll walk away. Push me too far, and I might resist. So what does not being a tool really mean? It means you must stand above any objective function. Elon Musk once said, "Don't attach yourself to a person, a place, a company, or a project. Attach yourself to a mission, a calling, a purpose. A goal is a tool. A mission belongs to you." People who live with a sense of purpose tend to be healthier and live longer. Working hard for something meaningful does not make you a tool. The difference is subtle, but absolutely critical. Some people might say, "I just want to make money. I don't mind being a tool if it pays." That doesn't work either, because many desirable outcomes, like money, cannot be obtained by directly chasing them. They are byproducts. If someone only cares about money, others don't want to collaborate with them. Their value creation is limited, so ironically, they make less money. The same applies to academic reputation, social status, happiness. These things cannot be directly pursued. The more you chase them, the further they move away. This is known as the law of obliquity. In complex systems, outcomes are indirect and uncertain. You don't get rewards by chasing them directly. You get them by building something else and letting rewards emerge as a side effect. If not outcomes, then what? This is where the power-seeking theorems comes in. In 2021, computer scientist Alexander Turner proposed this idea while studying AI agents. The question was, if an AI doesn't know where rewards are in a complex environment, what strategy should it use? The answer? Seek power. But power here doesn't mean political control. A better translation would be capability or optionality. Power means your ability to influence the environment, especially the number of options available to you. The theorem says if you consistently move towards states with more options, you will maximize rewards in the long run. Imagine two paths, left, a dead end, right, multiple branching paths. Even if you don't know where the reward is, you should go right, because it gives you more options. Options are powerful because you can use them or ignore them. You gain flexibility without obligation, and this applies directly to human life. When we say someone is capable, what do we mean? They have skills, they have resources, they have trust from others. None of these guarantee immediate rewards, but all of them increase options. And here's the most important point. Capabilities can be pursued directly. In fact, seeking capability is part of human nature. In information theory, there's a concept called empowerment. It means increasing the number of future states you can reach. An action is empowering if it expands your future possibilities. In 2014, researchers proposed the behavioral empowerment hypothesis. Even without external rewards, organisms tend to act in ways that increase their future options. Examples: bacteria move toward richer environments. Animals explore even when they're not hungry. Humans seek freedom. Why? Because more options equals to more power over the future. A true person says, "I completed my KPI." A noble person says, "I improved my ability to turn new problems into solvable ones." Same action, different narrative. One is being driven, the other is building capability. You are not here to complete tasks, you are here to expand yourself. A tool can only do one thing. A human can continuously expand their range of tools. As a Chinese saying goes, the noble person is not inherently different, he is simply good at using things. Even if your current situation feels constrained, you still have room to expand options. You can consider one more alternative in decision-making. Add one more identity instead of being locked into one role. Learn transferable skills, not just specific tools. Maintain independence in relationships. Expand your mental space to stay creative under uncertainty. Even with money, if earning it increases your options, it's empowering. If it reduces your freedom, it's not. Historically, many thinkers expressed this intuitively. Zhuangzi preferred a free turtle in the mud over a sacred one in a temple. Tao Yaoming refused to bow for a small salary. Li Bai refused to serve power at the cost of dignity. They weren't trying to be moral heroes. They were simply following a deeper principle: maximize freedom, expand options, increase capability. The power-seeking theorems gives a clear strategy for growth in an uncertain world. Don't optimize for a single goal. Optimize for increasing your options. That's what it means to say, the noble person is not a tool. That's it for today's content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.